I gotta be honest, when it comes to Wakanda Forever, this is a movie I was worried about because we don't have Chadwick Boseman anymore. We don't have the Black Panther, and I was worried about whether or not they should have recast him. I was worried about if we had enough story there to continue with more Black Panther movies. And 5 minutes into this movie, all of my worries were gone. This movie was exceptionally good, like way better than I thought it was going to be. They handled the death of the Black Panther so well and so respectfully. This entire movie was an emotional roller coaster. The actors and actresses in this movie portrayed their emotion for his loss so strongly and so seamlessly. It was mind-blowing. I honestly never expected something like this in a superhero movie. And then I hear people talking that Angela Bassett should probably get an award for her performance in this movie, and I'm thinking, this is probably a little exaggerated. I expect her to do a good job, but is it award worthy? Oh, it's award worthy. I don't know how many actors or actresses get nominated for a superhero type movie, but she needs to be one of them. If not the first, I don't know, but she did such an incredible job as Queen, who's lost her husband, her son, trying to hold the kingdom together, her emotional stress, anxiety, her grief. It was portrayed so well. Like, I felt it through the screen. The woman's just incredible. And Shuri is feeling it the most, which is actually turning her into a whole different person because she's letting her emotions guide her decisions rather than her heart or her head, which should be the ones making these decisions, and going down some roads that I'm not so sure her brother would approve of. And there was even a couple points of the movie where I'm like, what team is this girl on? Is she going to be flipping sides? Like, she's getting angry. You know, I understand getting angry, losing your brother, and all these other things going on, but I'm going, this is extreme even for her. But I have to say, that's what kept me interested in her character, because I wasn't sure what she was going to do or what she was going to say next. And I wasn't sure if she was going to make the right decisions. She was trying to make her brother proud, but she didn't want to be her brother. She wanted to go in a different direction. So that caused a lot of like inner conflict. It was crazy. Now, because there is so much going on, this movie is 2.5 hours long. So be prepared to sit, but the story flows really well. The movie moves along in a very nice, interesting pace to where it doesn't seem drug out. The 2.5 hours does go by rather fast because of the way the story builds and the characters build. It really just, it sucks you in, especially now that we have this new villain who, oddly enough, I found myself cheering for and was excited to see win some fights. And it's kind of weird because I'm not normally against Wakanda, and I'm not saying I was against Wakanda, but I liked seeing this guy win. He wasn't necessarily a bad guy from the get-go. It's kind of like he was a victim who you feel bad for, but because he was a victim of certain circumstances, that turned him into a bad guy making some really bad decisions. But you feel like deep down he's still a good guy, but the things that he does makes you question it. So you're on this fence of like, is he a good guy doing bad things? Is he a bad guy because of some bad things that happened to him? It's really confusing, but it works really well. You get really sucked into the character. Now, in typical MCU fashion, the visuals were incredible. Lots of action, lots of very elaborate colors, lots of mind-blowing CGI. Overall, the movie was just done flawlessly. There were some scenes that were so visually attractive and so compelling that you just couldn't take your eyes off of it. There were scenes in there, honestly, you could have wiped out the entire dialogue and just went off visuals, and that itself told the story. That's how great that was. Now, the awesome visuals continue even under the water in this underwater city that these new people are living in. And the colors, although were bright, they were also muted because of how deep they're supposed to be. And you get some colors and some artificial light coming in. And the way they had the colors bouncing off of certain objects was absolutely gorgeous. Overall, I gotta say this movie was an absolute success for me. way better than I expected it to be, and they handled the passing of the Black Panther really well. I have to really applaud them for that. So if you had any doubts about this movie, please rest them aside. Go watch it. You'll do yourself a huge favor. Really, really good movie. I love the story. I love the direction. I'm actually looking forward to more Black Panther films. I really enjoyed it, and I think you will as well. If you have already seen it, make sure you leave your comments down below. What is it you liked most about this movie? Did you think they should have recast it, the Black Panther, or do you think this was the right decision? Do me a favor, don't forget to drop a like on the video on your way out, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm Kevin, and I'll see you at the concession stands.